from the NBC4 studios in high definition. This is NBC4 at 6, where accuracy matters.
A program designed to stimulate Ohio's economy is creating jobs in Texas and Central America instead. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Cabot Ray. We thank you for being with us tonight. Now, here are the fast facts on Ohio's appliance rebate program. Consumers are rewarded with rebates for purchasing energy-efficient refrigerators, washers, and other appliances. So far, the state has handed $7 million to consumers. More than $10 million are still available, and that's helped spur appliance sales and manufacturing.
But payment delays have left some NBC4 viewers very frustrated, and now there's a new concern about who's really benefiting. Our government reporter Patrick Preston joins us now after getting answers today from the state.
Colleen, after an NBC4 viewer contacted us to share his frustrations, we question why a Texas company is overseeing this appliance program when so many Ohioans need jobs. What we discovered is that the Texas company is outsourcing some of its work to Central America. Columbus homeowner Carl Felton couldn't wait to receive his $100 energy efficiency rebate after he purchased this Energy Star certified water heater in March. But 4 months later, he's still waiting.
I keep calling. I am not getting any answers.
Carl points to a paperwork trail showing all the extra hoops he's had to jump through. The check has already been pushed back once, and the latest word is that it won't arrive until late August.
And they keep extending it every 6 to 8 weeks. 5 months is ridiculous. Completely out of the question.
How is it possible that Carl Felton is still waiting for a rebate after 4 months?
We did have some back and forth with Mr. Felton. His rebate took a little longer to process because the retailer that he utilized to process part of the rebate didn't satisfy all the requirements of the program in providing us with model number information.
In short, the store that Carl purchased the water heater from made a paperwork error that Carl had to correct. But that was back in May, so why is he still waiting for a check? Nadine Howard says that Ohio takes time to investigate before handing out those rebate checks. More than $7 million have been distributed so far. Carl says that answer doesn't satisfy him, and something else bothered him as well.
I said, "Where are you located?" He said, "Texas."
He's talking about Parago, the company hired to run Ohio's appliance rebate program. As Carl learned on the phone, they're based in Texas. Why is a Texas company running this program instead of an Ohio company?
Ohio has one of the largest Energy Star rebate programs in the country. We could not trust it to someone who hadn't done this kind of work before. We wish, too, that we could have had an Ohio firm do this work. Unfortunately, there was not an Ohio firm who proposed a project to us who could manage this.
Texas-based Parago had experience handling rebate programs and got Ohio's contract valued at around $500,000. Howard says the state stands by its choice, but it turns out that Parago didn't hire Texans to answer the phones. The company outsourced that job to Central America, an American stimulus program helping to stimulate Central America's economy. Did you know that the Texas-based company would outsource its call center duties to another country?
We did not know that initially. The moment we found out, the director of this agency issued a request to Parago to please onshore their call center.
Have they complied with that request?
They don't have an onshore call center that they can utilize, so with the program winding down, it still resides offshore.
Nadine Howard there says that the state did not use language in its contract requiring the call center jobs to stay in America. She says the state will learn from this and make that request in the future. As for Carl Felton, he's supposed to get a check in a couple weeks, and the state says his delays are atypical. Colleen?
All right, thanks a lot, Patrick. Great story. Revitalizing.
Did you know that the Texas-based company would outsource its call center duties to another country?
We did not know that initially. The moment we found out, the director of this agency issued a request to Parago to please onshore their call center.
Have they complied with that request?
They don't have an onshore call center that they can utilize, so with the program winding down, it still resides offshore.
And here is how Governor Ted Strickland responded today when asked about the outsourcing. Strickland said, "I'm incredibly disappointed, determined never to let it happen again. It shouldn't have happened. We were unaware that this company would outsource these jobs." He went on to say perhaps we could have done a better job vetting the company. Any company that's going to outsource jobs using these resources or other state resources will not receive a contract from us.
And they got snookered.
Parago wrote, "We offer ODD a no surprises approach for your budget and believe in complete transparency in how we charge for our services." But on March 26th, Ohio Department of Development Director Lisa Pat McDaniel wrote Parago Senior Account Executive Keith Bruns, saying she was surprised to learn about the offshore call center, noting, "We would have preferred to have been made aware of your plans to outsource the call center during the review process of your proposal." Pat McDaniel went on to write, "We are formally making a request that you pull your call center from outside the United States and facilitate calls at a call center located within the United States." Bruns responded on April 1st, defending the outsourcing because Parago saved between $50,000 and $125,000 by not hiring American workers. Lisa Pat McDaniel acknowledges this about her department's contract with Parago.
We didn't ask the question, and we should have asked the question.
The question being, will Parago's call center jobs stay in America? Had she known the answer was no, Pat McDaniel said she would not have allowed Parago to run Ohio's appliance rebate program. Do you still think Parago was the best choice?
Since I did not do the direct reviews, I can't answer that question. I can tell you that we were very disappointed with them to find out this information after we had the contract.
Will Parago be allowed to bid on future contracts with the state?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't believe right now that we would want to have a contract with them since we didn't get all the information.
The governor responds to an NBC4 investigation, and tonight we're digging deeper into his executive order that stops the state from spending your tax dollars to hire foreign workers. Good evening. I'm Patrick Preston in for Candace tonight. For the past 2 weeks, NBC4 has been pushing the Ohio Department of Development for answers on the state's energy-efficient appliance rebate program as part of our Ohio Impact series of reports. Consumers bought new refrigerators, washers, and other appliances with a promise of a rebate check. It was all to stimulate the economy, and it was paid for with taxpayer-funded stimulus dollars. Ohio hired a Texas company to run its rebate program. NBC4 discovered that company used the stimulus dollars to hire call center workers in El Salvador, the Dominican Republic, and in Canada. Then yesterday, Governor Strickland responded to our series of reports by issuing an executive order prohibiting all state agencies from using public funds for offshore services. Tonight,